Today we are making pelmeni, which is Siberian dumplings. My husband's from Siberia and this was his childhood favorite dish. Let's make this. We're gonna start by making the dough for pelmeni. I love using the KitchenAid mixer. It makes my life much easier, but you can also do this by hand. So we need flour, have some salt, and all the measurements we'll put down in description. We have water and eggs. I like to start this on slow, that way I don't get dusted with flour, and then you can pick up the speed. So here's how the dough should look like. You can easily put your fingers in it, but it's not sticky. So it's nice and elastic, gives you a nice stretch, but we're gonna let this rest while we create the filling. So for the filling, you will need, I like combining two different types of meat. I do not like just using ground beef alone. I want to do like chicken and pork. It gives you the juiciest filling. So I am using chicken and pork. Sometimes I'll use turkey. If you are going to use beef, you want to get like a fatty type of meat. So I would combine beef with pork. You really can go like whatever your preference is with the filling. So we have some meats in here. Then I'm adding some ground onion. And then we're going to season it with salt and pepper. And I just like to get in here with hands and just kind of combine all this filling together. That way everything's evenly combined. It would give you the best even flavors. Now that our dough and the filling is ready, we are gonna make some pelmeni. I love using this pelmeni mold. You can get it on Amazon. We will link to it. Makes the process so much easier, and I love making pelmeni with kids with this. Tim will come on here and show you how his Siberian mom showed him how to make them. We'll see and test him if he can actually still make them. You want to flour your working surface. So as I'm doing that, this is a trick. I flour the mold. That way the dough doesn't stick to it, and then I get a bunch of flour for my dough. We're gonna get a pinch of flour, or not flour, the dough, out of this. Then I'll move all of this aside, roll this out, and keep on flipping it and working with that flour. That way it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. So now we're gonna place this on top of your mold. Just cover all those holes. You can stretch it out. This dough is amazing because it stretches easily. So you place a little bit of meat on the inside of each one. So now that all the dumplings are filled in, or like pelmeni, we are gonna roll out another piece of dough, which is gonna cover the top of them. Next thing, we're gonna place this on top to cover all of them. Sometimes you have to stretch them out just a little bit. Then we're gonna cover it with a little bit more flour. And this is the fun part. Roll them out. This is all the workout we'll get for the day. I feel like it needs extra pressure, but at this point, you're basically done. So watch this magic. Okay. And this is why I love this method, because it's so quick and easy. If you plan to pre-make them for like meal prep, you can actually freeze them like this on a baking sheet. I like to have one layer of pelmeni and then place them in the freezer. Once they're frozen, you can transfer them to a Ziploc bag. I have my husband, Tim, here.
I'm right here.
Some of you may know him already, but I'm gonna prep the dough for him and he will show us his tricks. So basically, you can make this by hand, and you guys, what do you need? Just a round circle?
I'll be a little honest, I'm so used to you doing it that I may have forgotten a few steps, but yes, this is exactly how we have done it.
Okay, so the filling's down there. Can you grab it real quick? How old were you when you moved to US?
So I was 9, and fun fact, my dad is actually from Ukraine, but for some weird reason, he decided to move to Siberia because he liked adventure. And so I was born in this cold place.
Yeah, you guys have nothing better to do but make or pelmeni, sorry.
Yeah, and his friends would come over and they actually taught me as a kid how to make pelmeni. And you know what they did? They actually do something like this.
So what are you doing? Tell us.
So this looks like pierogi or vareniki. We call them vareniki, right? They kind of look like that. But then you connect the ends.
That's actually cute. So Tim's gonna show me how to make one too.
A little less probably.
That's good. Okay, so we have the meat filling.
Yeah.
And then we fold it over.
Yep, you fold it over just like this.
And then we pinch the edges.
And you pinch them. Just make sure they're hard enough because you have dough on them, on the edges.
And you don't want the filling to come out. You're gonna pre-boil some water, and then once water is boiling, you can add pelmeni to the mix. Actually, I'm just gonna dump them in like this. Be quicker. Once you add them to the pot, you wanna stir them together. That way they're not sticking to the bottom, and let them simmer or boil. So once the pelmeni floats to the top like this, I give them a few more minutes to boil, and then we fish them out. You can do directly into a bowl with a little bit of butter. We like to serve them with sour cream, okay, and a little bit of dill for garnish, and ta-da! It is all done.